Hello everyone, welcome to SW News. It's Wednesday, 26th of May 2021 and we can safely say that Twitter, Facebook and all other social media platforms are very much functioning in India. Yesterday, internet users were flooded with messages and forwards that Wednesday onwards the social media platforms may be banned in India. But the confusion is clear today. The social media platforms are not going anywhere, at least for now. But yesterday's developments have pointed towards a new battle that was brewing for quite some time in India. The battle between the big tech and the government over various aspects of content posted on social media platforms by their users. As I said, there were instances where the Indian government and the big tech companies came head to head. They clashed with each other over various policy issues, but what happened today points to a major escalation in this battle and potentially could be a big turn. The instant messaging app WhatsApp, owned by Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, has sued Indian government. It comes as a bit of a shock since this would be the first time when a social media giant will be suing a government. So what is this case all about? What is the escalating battle between the big tech and the Indian government? Let us discuss this in this video today. But before that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, you like this video and you comment below it. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Now, according to a Reuters report, WhatsApp has filed a lawsuit in the Delhi High Court against the government's new digital rules that take effect today, saying that these would compel it to break privacy protection to users. The case apparently asks the Delhi High Court to declare that one of the new rules is a violation of privacy rights in India's constitution, since it requires social media companies to identify the first originator of information when authorities demand it. The Facebook-owned instant messaging service, which identifies India as its biggest market, said it filed the lawsuit in the High Court of Delhi on Wednesday. It said New Delhi's traceability requirement, unveiled in February this year, violated citizens' constitutional right to privacy. WhatsApp, in its statement, said that civil society and technical experts around the world have consistently argued that a requirement to trace private messages would break end-to-end encryption and lead to a real abuse. WhatsApp is committed to protecting the privacy of people's personal messages, and they will continue to do all they can within the laws of India to do so. So this is what the WhatsApp statement was. Now, what exactly is this law which has led to WhatsApp filing case against Indian government? Let's talk about that. Back in January, there was a huge uproar in the country over the new update brought by WhatsApp. The new update, many thought, will hamper one of the core objectives of a personal messaging app, and that is privacy. So users started shifting to safer options like Signal and Telegram. The Indian government also slammed WhatsApp about this. But the new regulation announced by the government in the month of February has a provision for something called as tracking the first originator. When apps like WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram promote their product and privacy feature, what do they tell you? That the messages that we send and the other person who receives it are end-to-end encrypted, which means it cannot see your messages or share it with anyone. The government says while it is not interested in the content of the message, they wish to know who started the mischief. It wants social media platforms to disclose the first originator of the mischievous tweet or messages, as the case may be. This will be required in matters related to security and sovereignty of India, public order, or with regards to rape or any other sexually explicit material. Now let's take an example of this. Suppose there is XYZ message on WhatsApp which the government thinks is mischievous and it wants to find the first originator of the message. The message, assuming it is forwarded multiple times, just like fake news articles or messages, it must have gone from multiple senders to multiple receivers. Now, if you want to find out the original sender, then you have to go through the entire chain of senders and receivers. The government says it is not interested in the content, but without being able to peep at the content, how can one know who started a particular incident? Secondly, how would social media intermediaries comply to this? For players like WhatsApp, which are end-to-end encrypted, this could mean they will be forced to break encryption, especially in India. In the past, when the government has asked WhatsApp to identify the origin of message, it has always turned down such a request, citing end-to-end encryption. Now, according to experts, failure to comply to this regulation will make these intermediaries like WhatsApp liable for any illegal third-party information that is made available or hosted by them without their consent, and may even lead to an end of their operation in the country. Well, this is not the first time that social media companies have clashed with the Indian government. Last year, at the peak of border tensions between India and China, the government had banned over 200 popular Chinese apps. Most of these apps had millions of users in India and considered the country their one of the biggest markets. The overnight ban led to stalling of their operations in the country and thousands of employees in India losing their jobs. Now let's talk about government versus Twitter. Another escalating fight is between government and the social media giant Twitter. Recently, the Delhi police landed on the doorstep of Twitter India headquarters. It's a different issue that the move achieved very little, but message was very clear. This happened following the platform labeled Sambit Patra's tweet as manipulated media over the toolkit controversy. Earlier, during farmers' protest, the Modi government had asked Twitter to ban certain Twitter handles which it believed had pro-Khalistani links and using provocative hashtags. Now, Twitter complied with the order but left out news organizations, activists and journalist Twitter accounts, etc. The government, angry with the Twitter's move, shot off a notice asking it to comply to the order fully. It said that while Twitter is welcome to do business in India, it has to follow the law of the land, that it is a private platform and has to accept the orders of the government. Thereafter, a meeting was held between Twitter's top representatives and the Ministry of Electronics and IT Secretary. The confrontation peaked with the government threatening to arrest top executives of Twitter. Twitter, however, remained defiant. But WhatsApp's move on Wednesday has come as a surprise and it is highly unusual. Facebook, the parent company of WhatsApp, has over the years engaged closely with the Indian government, so much so that last year there were reports how Facebook India's public policy official shielded some people known for their open support for the ruling party from punitive actions on the platform. But WhatsApp is fighting another case in the same court over its new privacy policy, which the government has said is detrimental to the privacy of its users. In short, we can say both Indian government and WhatsApp claim to care for privacy of the users, but both accuse each other of trying to breach it. It will be interesting to see how Indian government now responds to WhatsApp's legal move. Well, do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Well, for the last few months, we have been asking you to support us through our YouTube membership program. And it is heartening to see so many people coming out and showing support. It motivates us to continue the journalism that speaks truth to power. But many of you also wrote us saying that they were unable to support us through YouTube. A lot of you also wrote to us asking whether there is an option of one-time payment. So we have come up with another option on our website through which you can support us now. The following video will tell you how. Until then, stay tuned to HW News.
Namaskar. We asked you to support us and we are overwhelmed and grateful for the kind of support you gave us. A lot of you all told us that you find it difficult to support us through Facebook or through YouTube and you would like to directly come and take subscription from on our channel. A lot of you all said that you wouldn't prefer to pay through credit cards but rather have other methodologies. A lot of you all said that you want a one-time payment option, one-time subscription option. So we arranged for all of that. All of that has been arranged for. We have now multiple payment options. We have UPI, we have Paytm, we have credit cards, we have net banking, we have wallet. We have a lot of payment option now. We have a one-time subscription option. And all of this is now available on our website. The link is down below. And our website, of course, as you know, is www.hwnews.in. Mind you, with subscription, we also have a lot we offer you So you have exclusive programs, you have exclusive meet and greets, you have exclusive goodie bags, a lot of it that we give for each subscription. All of those details are there in our website. So please go to our website and if possible, subscribe to us. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.